In this bulletin, a dangerous gas fire at a Sydney petrol station. The Prime Minister promises the same funding for all school students. Julian Assange breaks his silence with a balcony speech. And our Aussie Olympians welcomed home with a parade through Sydney.
This is 7's 4:30 News with John Mangos.
Good afternoon. First to a developing story, and an exclusion zone has been set up after gas cylinders caught fire at a Sydney petrol station. The blaze at the BP servo on Hoxton Park Road at Liverpool erupted at 1:30 this afternoon. The nearby KFC and Aldi supermarket were evacuated and traffic diverted. School students were also ordered out of their classrooms. The 200-litre LPG cylinders are being cooled by fire crews. The situation's believed to be in hand, although fire is likely to burn for hours until the gas runs out. Opposition leader Tony Abbott has been kicked out of Parliament during a fiery debate in question time over school funding. Schools are in line for a financial boost under education reforms to be rolled out by the Gillard government. For more on the changes, let's cross now to our political reporter Sarah Wiley. Good afternoon to you, Sarah. Now, what can the schools expect?
Good afternoon, John. Julia Gillard says schools can expect more money as a result of these changes, which are in response to the Gonski review. Now, we will have to wait a few more weeks to find out exactly what the Prime Minister has in mind, but she has assured us that both public and private schools will be better off as a result of these funding changes. But the Prime Minister claims that if Tony Abbott's elected, public schools will be worse off, after the opposition leader indicated that public schools are already receiving a decent share of the funding pie.
Like Jack the Ripper, he is going to be there wielding his knife to cut money out of that public school.
That angered Tony Abbott. He was quickly booted out of the chamber while trying to dispute that claim.
The Leader of the Opposition will remove himself from the 94A.
And Sarah, just on another issue now, Julia Gillard's past employment has put her leadership back in the spotlight.
That's right, John. Questions have been raised about why Julia Gillard left the law firm Slater and Gordon back in 1996. It's claimed that she quit following a review into work she carried out for her ex-boyfriend, former union boss Bruce Wilson, who has been accused of corruption. Slater and Gordon says the review found no evidence of any wrongdoing. Julia Gillard says the allegation's nonsense, but she won't go into any detail.
These allegations have been on the public record for 17 years. They relate to events 17 years ago.
But the issue has made some Labor MPs a little bit nervous and has reignited those leadership tensions. Let's take a listen to 7's political commentator Graham Richardson.
She's gone from 30-70 to be deposed to probably 50-50, maybe even slightly worse than that.
And he says if there is going to be a leadership change, that will happen next month. John?
OK, Sarah, thank you very much indeed. Julian Assange has called for an end to the war on whistleblowers as he spoke from a balcony of the Ecuadorian embassy in London. He spent nearly 2 months inside the building after seeking political asylum to avoid extradition to Sweden. Neil Warren is in London. Neil, excuse me, the Australian has been sheltering indoors there since June, and it appeared that he enjoyed his few minutes of spotlight, what little I saw of it.
Yeah, he seemed to, John.